So what's going on here?
Just having dinner.
That's Dad's chair. He's gonna be mad.
Wow, Brian, you sure have been doing a lot of jogging lately.
It's called
Stepn. Guys, in today's video, I'm going to cover 10 more useful tips and tricks about Stepn. This will be things that are not covered in the white paper as well as the light paper, as well as the first video I did, which is just things I wish I knew about Stepn before studying. So this is going to be a follow-up video, and yeah, hopefully these things help. I've made a few more mistakes along the way. So the first thing is to note is that as shoes have become cheaper, shoes are now ridiculously cheap, being only 2 Solana a piece, and Solana is no longer $100 US, it's dropped to about 30 to 35 Solana. So people are getting shoes under $100 US. So the first thing to note is that most people have increased the amount of shoes that they have available. So instead of running a 1-shoe strategy, many people upgraded to a 3-shoe strategy or even a 9-shoe strategy. I'm even considering upgrading to a 15-shoe strategy. But the main thing to note is that with yourself expanding your shoes, the first thing to do is don't overcommit and don't overexpand yourself. So both your time as well as your money, and then also your physical health. If you think you can run 10 minutes, then run 10 minutes. But if you think that you could run 30 minutes or 20 minutes, then just first test yourself before you do that. It might even be better to buy a walker and then 9 shoes and then do that, compared to doing a runner with 9 shoes. So for example, now that I'm upgrading to 15 shoes, I'm selling my runner, I'm downgrading to a walker or a jogger, and I'm gonna rather take it easier but then go for longer. So definitely something that you guys should consider doing. The next thing that you should do is that because you'll have a lot more shoes, if you do things like minting and building new shoes, or if you just look at some statistics on one of your other pairs of shoes, when you click run, it might not always be your main pack leader shoe. So normally what you'll have is you'll have 9 to 10 shoes, or let's say you do 3 shoes, you have 2 shoes that are level 5 and your main shoe might be level 28 or level 19 or even just level 9. Basically you'll have a earning shoe that you use a lot. So with your earning shoe, just make sure that when you click run, you always hit the run button on the earning shoe. The next thing to note is that because you've increased the amount of shoes that you have, you might want to double check the durability, because as soon as your durability goes less than 50%, that's going to impact your earnings and that's going to reduce the amount you potentially will earn. The next thing to do is that you always have to have human movement. So when you go for your runs or your walk or your jog, you should always be holding your hand. Ideally the app should be open, and you want to run with a human-like motion, because if it's in your bag or even if it's strapped to your, like if you're going to strap your phone to yourself, rather instead of doing it on your bicep, rather do it on your forearm, which will then get more human movement and more action, just so that the phone doesn't start thinking that you're moonwalking, and make sure that you're earning and that it's accounting every step. You basically, in the earlier days when they released one of the updates, a lot of humans were basically being reported as a robot, and then they weren't earning any of the GST for the day. The next thing is, remember to switch off your Wi-Fi. That does impact your connectivity to the app, and just when you go for your run, switch off the Wi-Fi, go for your run, switch on your Wi-Fi, get back in the house type thing. And speaking about getting back in the house, the next step is try and make sure that you always are outdoors. The app doesn't work running indoors, which is really shitty, because if it rains a lot wherever you live and the weather's pretty bad, it means that you have to either not earn for the day, or you're gonna have to run in the rain, and that's pretty shitty. The next bit of information is definitely check out the stepn.guide tool. So if you just Google Stepn guide, you'll see stepn.guide, and what this is, it's a you can upgrade it, and that basically will help you. Like, that just means that you pay them basically, but that helps you with the luck calculation. But like, let's say you've got a walker and it's level 9, and your base level is level 8, and then this could be 0, this could be 0, this could be 8, and you're running 2 energy a day. If you click optimize, it does all the maths for you, and it will basically tell you how much GST you should be earning even after repair costs. If you upgrade and you pay the Stepn guide, you can then get things like the loot box or the luck box calculator, but you don't need that. Basically, it's just something worth checking out. It will basically tell you how to split your efficiency and resistance, but if you upgrade, you can also then see how much luck you should be spending if you want to go for a luck-based strategy. So the next thing is be adaptable. So the game is constantly changing, and the price of GST is constantly dropping down. So because of that, the developers are constantly trying to find new burning mechanics and new ways to fix this game. A lot of the community is waiting for comfort to come into play, and then if you have your shoes at level 30, you will then start earning GMT. So that's going to come into the game. So, and like I said, luck has been recently, they upgraded the amount of luck chests from, I think it was 5 to now being 10. So luck now becomes more valuable, and you've seen that in things like the luck gem. So always be adaptable to the constant changes that this game is doing. I heard that they're doing a new bridge which will be for the Ape Bridge, for the Bored Ape Yacht Clubs. They're partnering with them and making some shoes for them. So there's constantly been developments, and it's definitely always worth being on your toes and being adaptable. And I think just the last bit of, well, actually not the last bit, the one thing that a lot of you guys need to know is that there are lots of Ponzi mechanics in Stepn. It's very similar to a game like Axie Infinity, which you would think requires new players to come in order for the old players to profit. I wouldn't say it's a Ponzi scheme. I would just say it's got Ponzi like economics, where the game does better the more people that join, because then it just keeps a demand for your shoes, it keeps a demand for GST. It's not just people taking money out of the game, but it would be more people coming into the game to put money in. So it's not a Ponzi scheme, but it definitely has Ponzi economics in place. It definitely does a better job at burning the earned tokens, unlike something like Axie Infinity. So I think Stepn's doing a much better job than Axie Infinity. I also think the developers are much quicker at development than the Axie team. So I'm very optimistic in it still, and that's why I'm still building content for Stepn. And I think the last thing to note is just, I think it's never a bad thing to just go outside and smell the grass. I know that crypto has been down quite a lot. We've seen Ethereum go from 4,000 to, I think it was like 900 at one stage. We saw Bitcoin go from 70,000 all the way down to 19,000. And we've seen GST go from $8 to 0.1. We've also seen Solana go from 250 to 28. So we just need to embrace, like, there's been some heavy hits. We just need to survive the bear market, keep growing, keep adapting, go outside and smell the grass. That's honestly why I'm not too phased about this app. I think it's still a fantastic app. Even if you run one shoe and you earn $1.50 or $2 a day, it just helps you get off your computer and go for a walk, even if it's just for 10 minutes. But yeah, that's just me. Let me know what you guys think, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.